Hi, Mr. Tim, this side Pratik, and we are doing some quantitative interviews for the farmers to understand their problems and issues on their agriculture input journey. This meeting is audio recorded, post your concern, and it will be used for internal purpose only. May I know your brief introduction?
Okay, my name is Tim. I've been in the horticultural industry for quite some, basically much of my youth time, for 20 years. Worked for the biggest produce market in Manica Land. It used to be called Manica Produce Market.
Okay.
I worked there for almost 20 years. I was the boss there, or I was the manager there. Do you get what I mean? And I can tell you stories about this agriculture story.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to tell. I've worked with all the farmers in Manicaland during my time there.
Oh, great.
And here we are talking of commercial farmers, even small-scale rural farmers. We tried to work with them. At that particular time, things were not like what they are. You get what I mean? There was not as many people going into trying to grow small little things there. It was basically a commercial farming thing in Zimbabwe.
Large scale business.
Large scale stuff.
Okay.
The irrigation schemes were actually set so that people will actually emulate the large scale commercial farming model.
Okay.
In which case, here's a what we call irrigation scheme in the rural areas. People were told what to grow. They have to, all of them have got to do that so that they can produce the volumes. So they were like semi-commercial, and the guys made money. These buildings I was telling, this one, that one, was built by these businessmen in Nyanga who were in the irrigation scheme which is called Nyamaropa.
Okay.
That's where they got all the money to do this.
Okay.
And this is the trick which hasn't actually been, it hasn't, people are still not picking it up. I was just telling him now, right now in my rural area here, because I'm now retired and I'm concentrating on that, I'm trying to encourage people to come together and we grow. If it is a fruit tree, let's grow all that particular fruit tree in our numbers. So that when we are harvesting, we've got the volumes.
Okay.
The market for horticultural products basically in Zimbabwe is in Bari, it's in Harare.
Harare, yeah.
So your distance from the market kills it all. You can't have 2 baskets of something and say you got something. You can't do it. How do you do it? You need volumes. Like I'm saying, the experience which I had when Yamaropa irrigation started, there were tons and tons of stuff being produced. Lorries and lorries will come and go and so. Peaches. We have never seen anything like that. Plums. There were tons. These guys were exporting to South Africa. Apples. People were sending them to South Africa. We're now getting all South African stuff. Nothing. Can't even do it. Because people are working as individuals and not understanding exactly. You don't have, firstly, one individual won't have enough hectarage. One individual will not have enough hectarage to produce the volumes which are needed to make an impact. Because you need continuity and consistency.
Exactly.
You don't want to go to food lovers and say, I've got lettuce. And when you do that, they want consistency. You don't want to deliver 50 kgs of something in this week, and then the next week you got nothing. You're not serious. You know, I'm talking about food lovers, like food lovers right now. The food lovers,
Big retail chain.
Yeah, big stuff. Okay, they are franchise from South Africa, but they're doing that. All Harare buys from them. Greendale. I dealt with them for donkey years. I deal with them. I know them. We know each other. You got to do that, and this is the concept. No wonder why there were some people who started what they called outgrower schemes.
Outgrow schemes, okay.
And people raised up and it worked. The advantage of the outgrower scheme is that this guy or this business which we want, I'll go to the communal lands and identify a particular communal lands. We want 5 hectares and we want to put carrots. 5 hectares of carrots. But these small little things for different people, you fund the whole thing, you do the everything else. When the carrots come up, you can export them, you can send them to the big markets and you give them their money. Do you see what I mean? And this is how these things work. And this is where businesses like you will grow big, because then the people will come and buy the stuff, and everything has got to be managed, it's got to be done correctly. So here I'm talking from, right now I was telling him, I managed to convince my boys in our village, we want to plant stringless mangoes. You know stringless mangoes? Those mangoes you buy in the street in Harare, the ones without the strings. That's what we call stringless mangoes. Yeah.
Okay.
The preserve of the Middle Sabi, former Middle Sabi commercial areas which they have now killed, and then it's normally so I'm trying to organize. We want to try and start in January I'm hoping we will be able to, in our village, in our small village, to have about 300 trees. But mangoes. It's not for one person. Yeah. You may have 5, you may have 20, you may have, depending on the capacity of the person, so that when the trees are ready, when the fruit is ready, the people in the market will then come and pay and get the stuff from the people. And this is how things start working now. You see that, and that's what we like, and that's where the government, sorry to say, they don't seem to understand that, or they do, but they don't want people to raise up. Those are the two scenarios. Because that's simple and straightforward. We got to work as groups, we got to be supervised, we got to be given things. Now, good for you, tell him, when you come, your organ, ETG, when it came, we used to go to Mutare to even find calcium nitrate, potassium nitrate, you name it, because no one else, sorry, I'm not trying to blame them, Farming City and all these other guys, agro-dealers, never used to have those specialist fertilizers. Because some fruits or some plants will need different. They know their compound D and their A, and that's fertilizer. But it's not like that. A, B, there is this whole thing that when you go into a group, you must understand the idea that you need to understand what is your area good for. You don't want to grow maize in an area which you should be growing fruits, and this is what is happening. You don't want to grow tobacco in an area which cannot do tobacco. It has got to be done. Soil samples, people don't even know about soil samples. They just grow things. They just guess. Do you get what I mean? And this is the problem. So there's a lot of work which needs to be done, but people don't know. Like what I'm doing now, I was telling you, I planted 2,000 pawpaw trees in my village.
Oh.
But I had to go through, and why I got all this, dealing with guys, I communicate with guys in Kenya. Kenya is very good in horticulture, and I deal with them. Send your samples to Africa University. I know what my HP is, I even everything and stuff. So this is why I'm now trying to encourage my village to say, let's work together and produce things together. When I say together, you will be producing on your own homestead. You will be producing, but we are looking at each other. We are making sure everyone is doing the right thing. All we want is to try and produce volumes, then people will take us seriously. People drive from Bari to come to our village to get whatever we produced. If we got volumes. They've got a 7-ton truck, and you can't send a 7-ton truck to get 500 kgs. That's stupid. It doesn't work. That's not business. So this is exactly where we are. This is what we're trying to do, but we need.
So you mean say farming education is the key for the smallholder farmers, because they don't know what to
they
grow.
They don't understand the metrics of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? He's producing one basket of tomatoes and they think, my tomatoes haven't got a market. Forget it, for goodness sake. What are you talking about? Do you get what I mean? We're throwing a lot of stuff away. You know that at one point I was crying when I went to Wonde Valley. People throwing bananas away. People in Yamaroba, people throwing tomatoes away. You can't. There's a hungry world out there. And as Zimbabwe, we've got an opportunity to actually tap into that advantage and export a lot of things to other countries.
True.
The Zimtrade guys came to me last year when they had that purpose, because I only had 700 trees there. And they said to me, can we organize so that you can send your purpose to Botswana? I said, I haven't got enough volumes. This is why I've increased them, hoping that I will have enough volumes. I will be harvesting like a ton per week or 2 tons a week. Then you're talking business. It's quite so that education is lacking in our the government doesn't want to hear it because they will say you're blaming them. But that's the point.
Okay. So we can start with the initial question. Uh, can you walk me through your recent purchase of your agriculture input? What recently you bought for your farm?
Well, lad, I bought boron from you.
Okay.
I bought potassium from you. I bought what was the quite a number of those blend fertilizers.
Blend fertilizers.
Yes,
Okay.
from you guys, because like I say, I used to go and find them in Mutare or something, and you couldn't even find them. I'm talking years back. Specialist chemicals, stuff like that. You got to do it correctly. There's money there. The people in the communal land could be fairly up there if they knew what to do or do it correctly.
Yeah, you are right. Is there someone who recommends you on farming side? Let's say what fertilizer useful, what not?
Yeah, well, this is the other thing you see. I tell him when I went to ETGC for the first time, I said, okay, this is my thing. This one's NPK of
Just a minute. Just a minute.
this one NPK, say 10-10-10. You don't have a fertilizer like that. So you need to come to ETG and other people who are specialists in these things to say, this is what I want for my fruit trees, or I want for my whatever crop. And then people will then suggest to you, okay, you need this one and you need that one, and then you take this one and you need that one, which is not the usual, sort of thing from the communal people, so to speak. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is exactly where the point is. And when I came in, the guys would explain to me, okay, if you get this foliar spray, you can do this, and you can do this, it is like that, it is like that. Like for my purpose, when they're starting producing, the key fertilizer is potassium.
Okay.
But you got to balance it with other things as well. So you need to know. So if it is 10-10-10, your NPK, how do you do it? How do you get it? You got so in the commercial farmers have got these guys who mix the fertilizers for them to bring the NPK to the levels they want, because that's what I was trying to grow figs as well, and it's tricky. There's a lot of things people can do and make money, but this is the key.
So, but who is your best person to get the advice? Like,
Well,
yes, you have a good experience on farming, but still,
not good, because farming you learn every day.
Every day.
What I do when I'm growing my things, like I say, I've worked with a lot of old white commercial farmers. I ask them questions, they tell me what to do and stuff like that. I ask people. You can ask the RX guys, and some of them don't even know it. You get what I mean? And you ask a farmer who has grown that particular crop. They come to my shop, we talk, and they tell me, do this, do this, do this, do this. And you learn as you go, you get what I mean? Yeah, and basically even from your soil samples, they tell you what your crop wants.
Okay.
Right now, next month, I think in February, I'll be selling my leaf sample to Africa University. So they can look into the leaf of my crop and see are the nutrients balanced, or do I need to change things? I've got my tester for my HP, got all that type of stuff.
Okay.
You go to learn, you got to do things, but you got to do it correctly. Unfortunately, it costs a bit of money. That's why at times other people are bit.
Do you think extension officers are helping in providing information to the smallholder farmers?
Yeah, they are helping, but it's so basic, and it is not targeting volumes.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean? It's basic and it's not targeting the volumes which is needed. There are very few of them who are very knowledgeable.
Okay.
Their botany is good. They understand it, because every single crop doesn't use the same. The requirements are different from crop to crop. Do you get what I mean? Given that, for an example, the purples are difficult because every single month you got to use some fertilizer if you can. How do you not use fertilizers? You got to go for using manure or compost. And all those things, but you need to send your samples so that you know exactly when you balance up your stuff. But they're helpful. They are good.
They are good. They are helpful.
Yeah, they're helpful to some extent.
Some extent.
But it's not raising, if you get my point. It's not raising the communal farmer up. It's just
Okay.
basic.
So they are just providing a basic knowledge, but they are not providing a knowledge which can help farmer to grow bigger.
Exactly. The idea is the farmer to go and improve his lifestyle. Because if he produces good stuff, he gets money. And that livelihood is better. He improves himself and his children and everybody else. But if he can only produce barely enough for his own use,
Yeah, true.
there are a lot of things which should be done.
Which should be done. Is there any salesman or agronomist from any of the distributor is in touch with you currently?
Oh yeah. I speak to a lot. I was speaking to one from Agricura in Mutare.
Agricura
Manikalen one. Last year I spoke to a guy from, what is this other fertilizer company? What about it? You know,
Farm City, Pro Farmer.
Yeah, talking to them. I've got this crop. What do I do? What do I need? And everything else. I've got this disease and stuff. What do I use to spray this? You got to speak to these guys. And some guys are very knowledgeable about that.
Is it?
But it's all theory. You get what I mean? There are guys in the offices and they're giving you theory and the botany of the stuff. But practically it's something else. Do you get what I mean? The weather changes, the rain patterns changes. You go to the communal land and the guy will say, oh, it has rained so much today. But that doesn't make sense. How many mils is it? Who has got a rain gauge? What rainfall, what do you get in your area per year? But you got to measure this. You get what I'm trying to talk about? And every year, because the pattern changes like that,
Rain pattern is changing, drastically.
so it changes the whole dynamics. This is why you need to do the correct thing. How many extension officers are going around and say, okay, we got so much rainfall, we got this much, this year we got this is why it affected. See, that's what you want.
That's what not happening on the ground.
It's not. And it affects you guys when you want to try and sell these things, because they could go in one day. People knew exactly what they are supposed to do. And that's my point. Some of it is guesswork. In farming, you can't do that. Like I said, I've seen a lot of farmers doing their work. You can't do that. And they always say, "Oh, this Murungu and so forth." They knew what they were doing. If something needs 500 grams of a particular fertilizer at a particular time, it has to get it. You can't give just a fraction of that and expect to get the yield. You can't. And that's the point. That's why some years back, we had a lot of NGOs who were helping rural people.
Okay.
And I went throughout Manicaland doing workshops, but it was on the marketing side. Do you get what I mean? To say, if they produce their garlic, where do they sell it? Can you come? And you take me from Mutare, Mito Sabi, Manyanga, everywhere, trying to explain. But they were just basic things.
Oh.
Because they were saying the formal markets don't want to buy from us. That was it was like a political thing. Do you get what I mean? It's not right, it's not correct. They will buy, food lovers will buy from anybody. If you got the quality and the consistency. I've worked in this industry. Whilst I'm in Mutare, this farmer phones you, hi Chiburi, hi Tim. Yeah, how are you? I've got carrots. I'm talking of my own people. Okay, right. How many carrots do you have? I've got this. I send you my sample. Yes. Okay. I'm sending my truck on Monday. I want 500 kgs. Yeah, my truck will be there at 8 o'clock at your farm. Oh, yeah, I will be ready. You send the driver, wake the driver up, go there, 8 o'clock. You're looking in, he should be back at this time. Okay, because I had contracts with the supermarkets to supply supermarkets. He should be back with my carrots. Then you pick up your phone and say, hey, John, where are you? So I'm still here. There's not even a bucket of carrots here. This is exactly what happens. I'm talking from experience. I'm not trying to blame anybody. I'm saying reality. Your truck comes empty.
Oh.
Now, you can't do business like that. For an example, talking about what I'm talking about, in my shop, I used to sell vegetables. When I opened, there was nothing like that. Now, the whole street is full of people doing exactly the same. They don't have measures. Yesterday, the trade measures office was even in my office. They always come, want to see your scale. Is it a size? I said, what about the people in the street? Where are they sizing their scales? Do they have scales?
No.
But me, you got to have this, you got to have... This is the biggest problem. And the majority of the people who should be producing stuff for the country are those people who are actually being neglected or being left to their own vice, doing whatever they want. The country won't grow. Serious. Won't. You got to have some authority, like the old irrigation schemes. You know, the Murungu was the manager there. He will come and tell you, you are growing sugar beets today, and this is the variety. And everyone is growing whatever for a hectare, depending on their... And they will say, our target is we want 50 tons of this stuff. They produce it, sell it to the UN or anywhere. And this is what happened. This is why these business people who build all these things grew up. I know that.
Okay. So when you buy a new product, any new fertilizer, agrochemical or seed, how confident are you that you know how to use this correctly? Who do you ask if you are not sure?
Well, if you're not sure, your first port of call is the guy who is selling the fertilizer. The guys who sell the fertilizer in the shop is the guy who should actually walk you through.
True.
Because you can't work with the extension officer. He may not even know about it.
Okay.
So the information is from the trader, from you guys. To tell people, okay, this fertilizer is good for this, is that. If the farmer knows what actually he wants.
Okay.
They're looking for prices. They're looking for, is it AN? Yeah, it doesn't matter as long as the price is cheap. Do you see what I mean? And this is where the problem is. Like I said, I'm trying to do this thing in my communal land. I don't even know why we all go just these guys who are farmers. We've got enough land in the communal land for doing things like I'm talking about, and raise up the profile of the country. You go into a 20-hectare farm and there's nothing.
Is it? Means they are losing their business then.
Exactly. There's nothing. Like I told you, we used to export stuff in this country. We are now importers. The land is still there. The land is still there in its goodness.
So means the encouragement is required from the authorities and the knowledge sharing is required.
It's from the top, and it is a government. It's a top-bottom philosophy.
Top-bottom philosophy, yeah.
Unless it's drilled into the people and tell your Zimbabwean people anything, if it doesn't come to the top, they won't listen to you. You get the scenario. The whole thing is dying from the top. Those are the guys who say, you can't do this. People go and settle into water sources where everyone wants water. They go where the river starts and he puts his homestead there. No one chases the guy. What are we talking about here?
So how often do you purchase your inputs?
Sorry?
How often do you purchase your inputs?
Well, for me, with the crop I bought, it's a continuous thing. It's, like the fruit trees, there are certain fruit trees you got to give them fertilizer twice a season or once a season, and the one which you need to go, all the time, because a pawpaw tree doesn't stop. It's flowering. It's got fruit which we are harvesting. It's got young fruit so it's continuous. Do you get it? So I need my fertilizers throughout. Every month I got to put fertilizer on. So it's fairly regular.
Okay.
And that's what it is.
Regular. How currently you are deciding that which inputs is suitable for your farming and from where to buy?
Well, there's no two ways about it. You get what I mean? For me, like I said, I buy it from ETG because you've got the brands, the mixtures and stuff which I want, or the types of fertilizer. It's not the common fertilizer, common common D or AN, which people know and they think that's the only fertilizer. It's not. But again, it all depends on what you're growing.
Exactly.
Yeah, it needs different fertilizers and different nutrition. And you got to do it correctly, because you put too much of one fertilizer, at times it's even detrimental for what you're trying to do, because it stops the other nutrients to work as well and stuff. So you got to be very, very knowledgeable about what is going on to be able to be successful. That's all.
So is your buying is segregated, or you buy on the basis of your requirement?
Well, look, I buy on the basis. If I'm looking for potassium, I go to the people who've got potassium and buy it. If there are hundreds of people with potassium, then you're shopping for prices. But it's the brand as well.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean? There are other people who say, I want ETG fertilizer. Do you get what I mean? Because other brands, a lot of people, there's a lot of fake things happening in the country, including foodstuffs.
Is it?
People are actually making things in their homes and selling them. But we tested that. For an example, when I used to work, we used to tell these people that there are certain chemicals you are not allowed to spray your vegetables, tsunga, grape, and stuff like that, because they're poisonous. They stay in that plant, even if you don't follow the proper channel, the proper regulations. If it says 14 days, and he's harvesting it after 10 days, so you're poisoning people. Do you get the trick about it? It's quite complicated, and we start talking like these people, then I know, because I worked in this industry for quite a while. It's quite a challenge.
Yeah. Can you tell me of your last any experience where you bought any of fertilizer, agrochemical or seed and you had a bad experience?
Not really. I haven't really had a bad experience from the fertilizer I bought. But basically, before I bought my fertilizers, when I started doing what I started recently, it's just I did my homework. I sent my soil sample. I started the thing I want to grow. I consulted with people who know about it. So they will tell me, you want this, you want this, you want this, you want this, and then that's the way to go. It's not guesswork. Do you get what I mean? The only thing is, at times you don't give them enough because you don't have the capacity in terms of finance. If you are supposed to put 300 grams every month, now you're putting 100 grams because you don't have enough money to buy the fertilizer. That will be the only problem.
Okay.
But other than that, no, I haven't had any much.
So you never face any challenge recently or in past where people have cheated you in terms of selling fake product or
No.
contaminated product or anything?
No. Personally, I haven't really experienced that, because you just don't go out and buy a fertilizer. What fertilizer are you buying? Why do you want it? What does your crop want? You just don't go and buy something just because you want to buy fertilizer. No, it doesn't work like that. But like I say, talking to agronomists from different suppliers, do you get what I mean? Windmill has got their own agronomists from Manicaland, and so you phone these guys because that's their way. You say, I'm looking for this, I'm doing this. I deal Claremont. The guys at Claremont help me a lot because I speak to them.
Okay.
They're doing flowers and they're doing fruits and stuff like that and everything else. So I said, right, where do I get this? So they recommend someone in a area. They talk to so and so. Give people who are really fundies in their field. And that's what you need.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a learning curve. You really need to realize that it doesn't happen so quickly. You got to get some time to hone up the skill.
Okay. So what are the top 3 factors which influence you to decide your buying inputs? Is it price, or is it a brand, or it is a reputation of the company, or product availability or credit facility? Which top 3?
Well, look. The reason for which fertilizer to buy comes on two things. Like I say, a lot of people look for price. They don't look for anything else. But you got to look at who is supplying the fertilizer. Are they people where you can go back if things don't work? Do you see what I mean? There's a lot of fertilizers I know, it's like Mbare, they sell anything. They can sell you sand and think it's fertilizer. They sell you anything. You should go to buy and buy your fertilizer there. You can't do that. You got to go to people who know what they are doing. And like I say, and the only thing is when you walk into a shop, the salespeople then help the person who is buying.
So means the reputation of the company
The
comes
reputation
first for you.
comes first for.
Second is brand, then obvious.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because there are so many fertilizers supplied by different people, which are not quite, the same. Some are not, and this is what you need to do. You need to do your homework and you need to understand. And your experience, if you go on from season 1 to season 2, you then understand exactly what is supposed to be done.
Okay. So, since you said reputation and brand is a topmost priority, after that, which factor comes immediately after these two? Is it price or availability?
I think availability and price come almost at the same path.
Okay.
Because at times the particular brand of fertilizer is short. If you're short of A, and I was talking to the potato growers
Just a minute.
about 3 weeks ago, was it? And they were telling me the type of fertilizer they were looking for was not available on the market.
Okay.
Or in the shops. You get what I mean? I think it has now since been, I don't know. These guys will do things properly. They want that particular fertilizer and that brand, and it wasn't available or something. There was some talk like that, but I'm not 100% on that. But for me, I haven't had a problem because it's not like I'm buying 20 tons of the fertilizer. I do get it. These guys buy tons. The big potato guys, because they got big farms and they're doing that, and they like it. And I've worked in one of the farms, so I know exactly what is required.
Okay. So when you are buying your inputs, how do you know that you are getting a fair price? It is easy to compare the price from different shops in the market.
Yeah, people do that because of the financial constraint. If someone is selling a bag of fertilizer for $32 and someone is selling it for 36 and someone is for 38, someone will probably go to the lowest. I mean, but that's the price factor now, and they forgo all the other factors. But
So do you really compare the prices before buying?
I think they do. I think people do generally.
Yeah, basically, what about you?
Me, I just look for the fertilizer I want and where it is, and that's why I go and buy. And he knows it. I don't go and buy from that person and that person. You deal with your guy, you deal with that, and
Okay. Are there any brand or product that you favor? What makes it favorable?
I think on that one, okay, I think it comes from your personal experience. Say if you bought from another company which is not ETG or from someone else, and you used it in your land and it didn't perform or you didn't get the result you expected,
Okay.
but you had done the right thing, then it makes you think, was it because the fertilizer was wrong or what? You start thinking yourself. But normally it's just not done generally by people. People just come, they want to buy fertilizer, they load in their car and they go. Do you get what I mean? But if you are a particular person wanting results of what you have used, this is how you then come to something else. It's not generally the thing. Do you get what I mean? But yeah, the brand, if it doesn't work, it's something else. I know a lot of people have gone through that, so I hear. But this is of course the choice of their purchase.
Okay. Does the look of the And packaging will impact your purchase.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Packaging does. You know, people like we all say in my industry, in fruit and veg, people eat by their eyes. Do you get what I mean? You look at something and it's impressive, it's nice. Do you get what I mean? It entices someone to buy. I mean, it's just the same. You know, the color of the vegetable. And still said, oh, I want a green pepper now, or I want a red pepper now. Do you get what I mean? Something like that. So the appearance of your peppers, of your sort of packaging, and how it is branded and stuff like that, all makes a hell of a difference. It does.
Okay, okay. What happens when you need your inputs urgently in a peak season? How do you handle that situation?
Yeah, well, see, this is the thing. This is farming. You see, if you are big and you're wanting these things and in season, you need good stuff, and you need it when you want it. Do you see what I mean? And when it is not available, this is what happens. I suppose if you deal with a particular outlet, they then know you every season you want so many tons of this, so many tons. I'm talking with big guys now. So they create their reputation in working relationship with their supplier.
But particularly, how you will handle?
I'm not that big to have actually gone into that scenario yet. Do you get what I mean? So we're still starting to try and do our things, but yeah, but like I say, you deal with your supplier and that's it.
That's it. So let's say is the season is going on and you figure out that there is one disease in your crop, and for that you need some remedy. How do you act?
This is it's either you talk to your supplier, like ETG, if they've got an agronomist,
Okay.
and you must phone them and say, okay, I've got this on my crop. If they are in the area, they will even visit your place. They'll come and have a look, or invest and send your samples to, like I'm saying, I'm sending my samples to the area. I'm dealing with that now. I've started this year, 2025, sending my things for samples, trying to check, make sure it's correct. Yeah. So that you can perfect. I'm still starting, but I think it will work out.
Is it? Okay. So for you, mainly is your loyal supplier, where you have any challenge or anything, you can reach out to them.
I haven't. Since ETG came to Nyanga, and I went to them and I talked to them, I haven't got any challenge. I'm happy with them. That's why I always come when I want my things. And the nice thing about it, you are the only guys who have these blends and everything else, which everyone else doesn't have.
So what is the expected timeline for you during a critical season?
Yeah, but I think if you're doing a crop which you grow and then it finishes off and then you grow it again the next season, that's a different thing. Mine is a continuous thing. To get honest, it's a progression.
Okay.
My trees will take about 5 years before they come to the end of their productive life. So within that, you need to,
And what timeline you are expecting from your supplier to deliver the product in a season or before season?
Yeah, well, timeline, it all depends on what quantities you want. Do you get what I mean? But if you come to ETG and say, okay, guys, I want compound J, or I want boron, you give them time, depending if you are big, how many bags do you want and stuff like that. That also comes into play. Do you get what I mean? You can't cry foul when you only want one bag and you expect ETG to run around for you for one bag from Harare. It doesn't make sense. It has to make economic sense as well to you from your supplier.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean? This is where I'm coming from. This is where I started talking about people trying to come together and bulk up, because it makes sense. If you were to, if farmers were going to come to you and say, ETG, we want 20 bags of this type of fertilizer, and you haven't got it in stock, it's easy for him to say, guys, on the next trip, can you bring us 20? But if someone only wants one bag, I don't see how it works. Do you see what I mean? And we go back to where we were talking about. How does it work? We need volumes. It costs money.
Do you have any time in past you have faced any challenge of getting the right product on right time? Any of the
No,
fertilizer or product?
not me. Personally, no, not yet.
Do you know someone who has
Yeah,
faced a
yeah,
challenge?
there has been some, the big farming guys where they had challenges of not finding the proper thing they wanted at the time they wanted it. Do you get what I mean? Either because it hasn't been manufactured or it wasn't there on the market for one reason or the other. This is why when these big guys do, when they are off season, they start planning their season in the season they are growing now, to start factoring what they need for the next season in good time. And if they deal with their dealer, they will say, okay, I want 5 tons of this fertilizer next in October or whatever. So it's all pre-arranged and it's all organized and stuff like that. But to do that, you're talking of big people, eh? Not someone who is simply waiting that the rains are going to come and he only wants 5 kgs of maize seed. I mean,
It doesn't work.
for you guys, how do you do that? It doesn't work. This is why Zimbabwean farming basically is based on commercial.
Commercial. Okay.
That's where the deal is. So that the country, Ministry of Agriculture will know that we don't have enough fertilizer this season, this coming season, let's import it, let's do this, so the farmers will have it readily available. Do you realize when I talk to you about from top to bottom, the Minister of Agriculture has to be someone who understands these things, to make sure there are things in the market. The agro guys have got the fertilizers they want. Do you get what I mean? Then we won't have any problems for anybody, I don't think.
What happens when you go to your usual shop and they don't have any specific product which you need? Where do you go next? And how much of the hassle is it for you?
Well, look, this is the problem. If the guys you buy from them don't have the brand, and the next day don't have the brand, or the next supplier, so to speak, don't have the brand, what do? You can't. If the irony is, you can't really make people run around for 2 bags of fertilizer. Do you get what I mean? This is the trick. That's why I was talking to you about when people come together and work as a group, it makes the volumes of the fertilizers higher. It makes sense now to talk to suppliers in that way. Yes.
But just an example, some product which you regularly buying from your usual supplier, and you expect that they must have this product because it's a general product, any agrochemical or anything. But by any reason, when you need it urgently and they don't have, what
It's
is the
out of
next
stock.
step? Yeah.
Basically, it's out of stock.
Someone has bought the whole stock.
The whole store, yeah.
Then
That's life dynamics. You got to go and find to someone who has got it. I mean, what can you do? You can't blame the supplier. Do you get what I mean? Because these are economic factors and business issues which just someone comes in and said he want all this fertilizer you have got, and then the next minute someone walks in and you haven't got. I mean, it's not someone who is organized, like I said just a while ago. If big farmers, people who are serious about it, they plan their things ahead of time. So they tell their suppliers to know what they require in good time, so that everything else is factored together. It's all a chain reaction. Yeah.
How do you manage your logistic of your inputs or your end product, finished product which you want to supply to your?
How do I?
How do you manage your logistic?
Well, you got to think. You see, before you produce something, like I was telling you earlier, I was telling you, man, you cannot plan or have a headache just producing 500 kgs of something. You got to have volumes which make sense. And then once you do that, you're now planning ahead now. What you're going to do, like for me, if all my trees start producing, I'm now thinking, I need cardboard boxes. So I got to go to Unyani corrugated to get my boxes done. Do you want to brand them? Do you want to, do you get what I mean? But you can't do it if you only have little things. You got to do, and again, it becomes economical. That's where the point is. You need a lot of money. Packaging is important for your product. How do you do it? I always compare. I was with girls sometime who were coming from university, coming for attachments and stuff like that at work, and I was telling them, how do you look at, this is the Zimbabwean product, or this is the Zambian product, this is the South African product. They're all there. They are apples. Which automatically you can see how they brand their packaging material. It's nice, it's well packed, and everything else. And some is just rudimental. Anything can happen. Anything can do. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. I mean, it all depends. You know, these are all the big things which come into play. But a lot of people don't think about it because it doesn't even occur to them anyway. Like me, I'm having a headache now because I need to go to Unyani to try and get boxes manufactured for me, and that costs a lot of money. If each box cost me $1, just for an example, and I'm harvesting 1,000 boxes of pawpaws a week, I'm losing that $1 because you send them to Mbari, they put fire on it when they finish using the box. They can't give it to me. So so you need to work on that. So if you're getting $8 a box, you're not getting $8. You're getting $7 because the dollar is going into the box and it's going into throwing it away, and it costs a lot of money. It's all those sort of things we need to come into play. Yeah. And a lot of our people are not at that level yet and thinking those kind of things. They just want to put it in a bag, in a basket, and just go into the street and sell it. I mean, it's not what we should be doing.
How much time does it take for the inputs to reach from your point of buying to your farm? Can you break it down for me?
Yeah, well, for example, we are here in Nyanga. I'm 40 say 50 kilometers from here to my place.
50 kilometers. Okay.
So you just buy it, throw it in your truck, and then in an hour's time you're there and you're doing your work. Simple. Yeah. Okay. But it's different from if you are getting it from Bulawayo or from Harare. You see the difference. That's simple. That someone comes in with the combi, you see all these combis, they throw it on top of the combi. In the next 5 hours they are home, they're using it the next day. Yeah.
So you mean it is very easy for you to get your product available in Nyanga?
Yeah.
Your suppliers gives you in Nyanga.
Plan your time. Easy. Yeah. Like when I finish talking to you, I'm going home now. I got some plants I want to go and plant tomorrow. I will be within 2 hours. I will be home. I'm starting working with if I was taking fertilizer, I will be home with that fertilizer in about 2 hours and start using it immediately, just like that. I still have the lime and everything I bought from him, which I'm not going to use. So that's it. That is not a problem.
And how far? Let's say we are not available in Nyanga. How far you are willing to travel for your inputs buying?
This becomes a problem now. Like I was talking to you about my boxes, okay? Like I say, if the product is in Bulawayo, already you factoring costs apart from time. It's money. How do you get it down here? In what time? Maybe you want it because you weren't ready with it. Because under normal circumstances, for the season, your fertilizers must be in your storeroom already. You don't
before season starts.
Yeah, you don't go and buy it when you want to use it today. If we are talking farming.
But people are afraid if the rain is not coming good enough, then they will lose the money which they spend.
If you are a farmer and this is your business and that's what you want to do, when I used to work for this commercial farmer, we used to have fertilizers like this well before we needed it. I need to have, if I didn't have a particular brand of fertilizer, about 1,000 bags before the season starts, I'm doomed.
Oh.
So this is the thing. And that time, the banks also used to work. They used to support the banks which support the farmers and stuff like that. Because he needs to buy that fertilizer and have it in store. The rain, my boss used to tell my boss used to say, rain is not our problem. We don't bring it. God brings it. We do what we have to do. Do you have the fertilizer and the seed and everything ready for it? And then start complaining about the rain. Do you have the fertilizer? You don't need fertilizer. You don't need to start looking for fertilizer when the maize are actually crying for it. Do you get what I mean? The fertilizer has to start to be there first before the crop is even planted. That's the way things should work. But things don't work that way. Because we are small scale guys. It's like hand to mouth, if you get what I mean. But that's the truth. And these are the issues which we must, the discourse of discussing things in the beer halls and in the vegetable gardens and stuff. We need to discuss these things because this is what is crucial. You don't need the fertilizer when the crop needs it. You need the fertilizer first before you plant the crop. Then it's it. Forget about the rain. That's not ours. That's God's stuff.
How do you pay for your inputs? Is it easy to get what you need if you don't have cash on hand?
Yeah, well, you got to have cash on hand. How do you do it? Simple, straightforward. And this is what the statement we've been talking about 2 seconds ago, it comes into effect. People didn't realize that all these big farmers, or these productive farmers as we call them, as they used to be, they used to get a lot of loans. You got to go and get loan from your bank to get the inputs you want. You talk to your bank, these are the hectares, and now out of their experience, the bank will know, okay, it's fine, it's not a problem. So you've got your 10 tons of fertilizer already in your storeroom and stuff like that, your seed, your chemical. You're now waiting to work. You're waiting for the rains. If the rains come, boom. At the right time, the fertilizer is there, it's put, it's applied to the land and everything else. You're spraying, you're doing everything. And it's business, it's serious business, it costs money. But if you don't have cash, forget about it. And this is why I was talking to him. The 3 people may want to come and buy a bag of fertilizer from me and then share it. Because we don't have the money. So it's a cycle which is quite vicious. And unless people discuss and understand exactly where we're going wrong, we're not going to go very far.
So banks are supporting farmers?
No, they're not. No, not like in the old days. Because they will lose their money. Honestly, they will lose the money. And there isn't, but see, in the old days, it was a government thing.
Okay.
It was mandatory for farmers to go and be given money by the bank, and the bank was there purposefully to support the farmer. Of course, you will have to send your collateral and stuff like that, but the facility was available. If you get what I mean, the facility was available. That's why they sold their farms. This is why, sorry, I'm going into an area we don't need to go. This is why, if you have got a farm, that land has got to have value. Because how do you grow money? What is the value of your land? So the bank can sell it and recover their money. But if you say it's not yours, it doesn't have value, you kill the whole bloody thing, man. It doesn't work. You get what I'm talking about? Now they were talking about, you can give your goats to the bank to say this is collateral. How can a bank accept a goat for collateral? I mean, this is a job. You can't do that. It's not real. Are we talking real business, or are we just joking or trying to please people? Do you get what I mean? Appeasement. It's not correct.
Do you think farmers are taking money from the unauthorized person in the market if the banks are not supporting?
Yeah, they're going to these small scale, microfinance people.
Microfinance, yeah.
You won't make any money out of that. Let me tell you that I've got a small shop. I can tell you that you won't make money from a microfinance thing. Forget about it. Because, okay, let me give you an example. Tobacco farmers. The companies which are providing funding for tobacco farmers give them everything. Do you get what I mean? And they want them to work as a group, and they, like I was talking about, they give them all the inputs. Do you get what I mean? They come to you and they say, okay, this group in this area wants so many tons of this fertilizer, and then you supply it. They pay the company, the tobacco company, which will be dealing with that. When he finishes harvesting his crop, they take their money from, they send it to the floor, take their money and they give him the balance. It makes him work harder.
Yeah.
Do you see? That's the only crop in Zimbabwe which can make sense to tobacco farmers. That's it.
Do you get any credit from your current supplier, or previously someone is offering credit?
Not anymore now. It used to be. Even in my little industry, when we used to do vegetables, you could get your vegetable from the supplier, pay him after agreed time, 15 days, 30 days, and stuff like that. The same applied. People come and buy from your shop, they give you the money after 30 or 15 days, depending on whatever the credit limit was. That is all died off now. So people are going to have cash on their hand, because no one can do that. There's no one doing it. You can't. I don't think it will be prudent for you if I come and say, I want 5 bags, I'll pay you after 30 days. It doesn't make sense. That's exactly the story.
But what if a credit facility comes that says we give you 5 bags of compound gin, then we add $1 after a month or after your harvest?
That is almost like a microfinance we're talking about. That's what they do. They give you money today. Okay, let's just take a role model story here. You want to grow a crop which takes 4 months from planting to maturity. Okay, now you come and get that loan. The next 30 days, they now want the repayment straight. You haven't even planted this stuff. Do you see the difference? You're expecting to get the money from the crop you are growing. They expect to get their money after 30 days, full stop. So you got to go and borrow again to pay Paul, borrow from Paul to pay John. You can't do it. It's not possible. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. Full stop.
What credit terms is useful for farmers, small and medium farmers?
It all depends with the crop they are growing, so to speak. It really is important. If, for an example, a farmer is doing, say, fruit farming, the tree will start producing after 3 seasons or 2 seasons. So how many years is that? 3 years?
3 years, 4 years, yeah.
He has got to have some other mitigating where he's going to get the funding to service his debt for this crop, which is only going. I give you an example. These pine trees in Nyanga, which was a forestry commission, a government thing. Some trees, I understand, 15 years minimum before they are ready. You go and get a credit to do a pine tree, and it is only going to be ready in 15 years. How do you do that? Do people understand that? Do people talk about that? So it all depends, like you're asking your question, it all depends which crop is it. No wonder why I was reading, I read a lot of books about the development of agriculture in Rhodesia, in Zimbabwe, so to speak.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean? That's why all these people, these farmers, when they came in and they wanted to specialize in tobacco, but they couldn't start doing that. They had to go and grow tomatoes and chickens and stuff. So they get money in 3 months so they can pay their workers and stuff like that. Whilst their bigger thing is actually blooming, is being groomed to grow. You get it? So this is, we go back to what we were doing. The land has got to have value. Otherwise, where do you get the money from?
But do you think the option for paying a 6-month installment or after harvesting for a short term crop, that can work?
It could, depending if people are serious. It could work if people are serious. But who is that with that amount of money where he's giving money for 6 months, he's not getting paid for it and stuff? Where do you get that person under the moon? I don't know. This is the problem.
Let's say it's the company, like this one.
Yeah, like if your company is prepared to do that, it will work. But basically, you have 6 months sitting with your money somewhere, not doing anything. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how it works. In 6 months is like a year. It's a long time. You're using the inputs you have been given and you haven't paid for them. 6 months. I feel a bit jittery about that. It's not correct. If it fails, you must insure it, right? So if it fails, the insurance will have to pay. Do you see? It's all. You got to, like the fruit farmers in Nyanga, if they have hailstorm, during the rains, all their fruits are damaged and that's it, gone.
Huge loss.
Huge loss. And you borrowed thousands of dollars from the hundreds of thousands. How do you do it? These are the things which has to be taught from. It's really a national, a government thing to sit down and look at all these modalities. That's the only way it will work. This thing.
How do you manage your finance for your?
Well, I'm a small guy, I mean, you battle, every single dollar makes sense and you battle just like that. And you don't grow because of that. There's no two ways about it. You don't grow because of that. Are you still long to go or we finish?
Yeah. Do you get insurance for your crop?
No, I can't afford insurance. I would like to, but I can't.
But do you think it will help to the farmers if the insurance are available?
Yeah. If there was some agri insurance to insure, because insurance is simply to insure your debt or your borrowed money.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? It will work, but I don't think that even companies who are willing to do that. But that's what used to work.
Okay.
It works. It works.
Do you think technology will help in farming?
Oh yeah, certainly. I'll tell you, I've been talking to him and I'm still crying about it. I want to buy one of your mist blowers.
Okay.
We use these things. You can't do it like on fruit trees. You need something which brings mist.
Mist, yeah.
I've told him, I said, I'm crying, I still want to buy the thing. Because that's the way it works. Do you get what I mean? So technology, yes, does work. Big time.
Do you use any mobile application like WhatsApp, Facebook, TikTok?
I'm still using, I want to develop when I finish now. I'm going to go for my drip irrigation.
Okay.
Which is a development. The water only goes where it is wanted, the unit is wanted. You are not wasting water, you need splashing water everywhere.
Okay. But you are not using any mobile application, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok? No. Okay.
I have to sort of run now.
Do you have do you have any question for us to assist you on it? Any farming related question which you wanted to throw us?
No, not really. Like I say, I've said, good guys, you came into Nyanga. I'm very happy because your product is, of course, it has got a differentiation, if I may put it that way, from other suppliers before. Not because I'm not blaming them, but your range of products is much wider. It covers a lot of different sectors in the agricultural sector, which is good.
Okay.
I don't think we can at this stage complain, or we can only be grateful that you are in the area.
Okay. And the last question which I wanted to ask, how you are recommending us, how can we improve our service?
I think availability of your product all the time is good when people know that.
Okay.
And people come in, they want their thing, they are saved quickly, they go away, they're happy.
Okay.
But you have, your range, your chemical range and stuff like that, and your prices, that comes in.
Okay.
People will then say, eat it.
Thank you so much, Mr. D.
Okay, thanks so much.
Okay.
All right, I hope it helps.
Sure.
Okay, thanks.